Got good news and bad news, girls. The good news is your dates are here.
What's the bad news?
They're dead.
Shit.
I'm all the way up. All the way up. I'm all the way up. I'm all the way up. Nothing can stop me. I'm all the way up. Exclusive.
What up, guys? dripmode, and yes, I'm back, and I'm not gone yet. Actually, my good mission job came through, and that's what this video is about. Now, I want to say first, thank you and a shout out to Matthew. He's the guy that hired me for a commission job, and today's build is a unique one. And the reason why I say it's unique, because I thought I'd seen almost every movie out there, and this one kind of slipped in the cracks. The gentleman that Matt, he was like, oh, you know what, I want to hire you to do a commission job, and I want it to be focused on Nights of the Creeps. And I was like, Nights of the Creeps? I don't think I know that one. So I go always, I do my homework, and it's actually a film in the early 80s, late 90s. I watched the film, and it's a zombie flick, and it's a really traditional zombie flick from the 80s. And when I say that, it's because the type of humor, the filming style, and you know, obviously the haircuts and the actors that I do recognize in the movie that I've seen in other movies like Bachelor Party and other zombie flicks. And I spoke to Matt, and what he wants a specific scene, but as a mashup. This fraternity house, the specific room. Definitely, it's gonna be a challenge in the sense of I've never built one like this. I mean, I have built one that I could think that's maybe similar to like the nun. The nun style is kind of a very similar approach that I'm taking with this. But I guess I'm gonna have to just show you guys. So it's gonna be pretty exciting. Now the other thing too is I didn't know that they made these toys, and these toys are they're a little bit older, but they're Neca. And they're the same size as my Karate Kid figures. So they're like bigger than 7 inches. I want to say they're maybe between 7 and 8 inches. I think they're 8 inches actually. So I'm using the Karate Kid as my reference in regards to height, because I don't have these figures. And I wanted to buy them and see, like, okay, let me just buy them and see how they look. And they're really hard to find. They're very rare actually, and this guy has them. So it's gonna be a pleasure to cater to someone that has these real limited figures. So with that being said, I'm gonna go over some of the materials. Got a little table, double-sided doors, some balsa wood. Got some blue construction paper. This, I think, is 11 by 14 foam boards. And we got the famous pink foam, that this is going to be the actual floor. Acrylic paint, and that's basically it. So, I mean, I'm definitely going to be using glue and other things, but these are the materials that I'm going to be using. So, let's get to it. Alright guys, so yeah, this is kind of my plan right here. The room with 235-degree angle walls, 2 windows with drapes, table, clock, painting, fraternity lettering, the bunker for a figure in the bottom, a space for a wall unit, and then on the opposite side of that window, a space for a zombie to be on the opposite side. So what I tend to do is start positioning my pieces and trying to see if there's things to be concerned about. I don't have Ray, so again, I'm using Ralph Macchio as reference. So
activities that you'll miss the most.
I tell you what, you think they could.
Play around with how he wants to pose his figures, and I really can't predict that. So as you can see, I made a box right here. I'm gonna cut it out so then my figure will be able to sit in there, right? here, I got a lot of the wood kind of set up. Nothing is glued yet. This is just how I work in regards to making sure that everything is done right. And so stuff like this, right? Believe it or not, you can buy that at Hobby Lobby and it's taxed like a mother beep. And I'm gonna give you guys one of my secrets. I don't buy them in those places. This guy goes for like 30 bucks at Hobby Lobby. You go on Wish and Wish sells them to you like for $15. So a lot of the accessories that you could buy at Hobby Lobby, you could buy them at Wish for nothing. I recommend that. Now this one is pretty cool. So I needed this double-sided kind of door that I'm gonna treat as a window, and you see this clear, like it's not see-through, right? There we go. Remove the plastic, and then you could just peel off the film. The white is actually a film, and look at that. Voila. And also, you know, if you have to paint it, you just remove the plastic. So, alright, so yeah, so the doors are painted now, and the walls are painted, have them covered and masked. Is I'm gonna basically cut this piece out and paste it so that it could be the same color of the wall, and it looks seamless because it's the interior of the house. So glue gun's more for the stronger piece, but there you go. So now I'm gonna apply it to the other pieces. Alright, so now next up is I'm gonna cut the wood and then start pasting it.
Wow.
Alright guys, so this is my plan with this guy. So what I'm doing is that my client's able to take them out. So you stick it out and I have them as two pieces. So this is my train of thought, is that you could pose, he wants a zombie coming out of the floor. So I made this where he could make that decision himself on how he wants how he wants to lay out this the scenario, the scene. So you can either do it like this, right? And then I also gave him, I'm giving him extra wood. So yeah, so the zombie could, so my client could, when he takes a picture of this, he could make it look like this. You could pose them in any other way, in both opposite ways. And again, you could just add all these. So it's gonna look pretty dope. I'm actually pretty satisfied with this. Okay. So came out pretty good, but now time to paint it. Guys, I'm telling you, if you guys wanna try this, get this liquid stitch. I don't need to sew with this thing. It actually works very well and pretty instant too. So here's the method to my madness. So I basically glue these guys together to keep the pattern. I'm using the rubber band to keep these guys in the middle consistent. And up here, right now I'm just using a nail just to add the hole so I could spread it open, and then I'm gonna stick the actual the beam that's gonna hold both curtains into the hole, and we got it together. This liquid stitch really helps out a lot. So yeah, so that was successful, and now I'm trying to do the other window now. I want you to observe the ends right here. So I added these little kind of like washers, right? I had these little cylinders for when you get a cone, right? And what I'm doing is that I'm actually chopping them up in two. These little tiny little cylinders. And what I'm doing is I'm filling the inside of it with epoxy. I was trying washers, I was trying making little balls for the ends. I was trying to put but this is just better because I don't have to worry about space, and then the epoxy will harden it, and keep it tight so that the hinges are in there and the cloth are in there. I'm excited. Alright guys, next up is the wall unit. Now, I actually found this picture frame and it was literally $1. It was $1. There's some scuffles on them and it wasn't perfect, but I'm gonna make this into a wall unit. So, I ended up cutting this piece of wood. Right now I'm just waiting for these two little brackets to dry up so that I could put the wood, the shelf, like that. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use this, and boom, obviously I gotta paint it, but this will be a nice shelf. And then I could put some Chinese dishes or something like that. Alright, so next up, I'm making this little tiny room. My client wanted like a little space for a zombie in the back to be chilling, and then you could put like it could be like a nighttime scene. I want to create this little room, but I also want to make this foldable in case he has to put this away for whatever reason. Before I get to the reveal, I wanna finish this one piece that I have left that it was bugging me that I didn't have. And I got some epoxy, and now I'm shaping it to be like the clock from the movie. And then once I get this done, then I will paint it brown. In the movie, there's a whole bunch of these little tiny slugs, right? And these slugs are the reason, these are like aliens. These slugs are like aliens, and they go inside your body and they take over, right? So what I'm gonna do is that I'm gonna make a whole bunch of slugs for him so he could put around the diorama. Now I'm just waiting for these guys to dry a little bit. So the clock mainly is because I can smooth it out more. But yeah, once it gets solid, I could paint them. Ta-da-da! It's done, guys. And here is my Knights of the Creeps diorama. My client wanted two scenes, a mashup of two scenes: the fraternity house and the scene where the zombie breaks through the floor. So to give you a little bit more context, you see these little slugs in the movie. These slugs are aliens that go into humans' mouths, and then they take over them, and then they become like zombies. Okay, and then this is the main zombie that comes out with the axe. He breaks through, and he kills his grandma. And then you got the scene with the fraternity house where he's looking out the window. Now, I don't have the figure, so that's why I'm not showing it. But what I'm doing instead is I'm putting a whole bunch of zombies to present this style. Now, the challenge with this style was just to make something look clean takes a lot of patience and a lot of finesse. And I'm not gonna lie, it was challenging because like I had to redo this wall, and then these drapes took me forever to figure out. But good thing for that liquid stitch, it gave me the opportunity to play with fabric, but at the same time, I have a bigger respect now for fabric because the result comes out great, but man, you need patience. You need patience. All right. So besides that, there's no dry brushing, there's no black wash. It's mainly paint, paper, gluing, and assembling, and that's about it. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna break it down. I'm gonna build it up, build it for you guys. All right, so here it is broken down. It's not much. I mean, it's a lot, but I'm just saying it's just not a whole lot in the sense of it's not stacked so high. But all right, so let's break it down. All right, so this right here, this is the room in the back. So what I did is that I made this platform with magnets, so it actually sticks on all three sides. Okay, and the top goes over, and that's done. That's the back. I had made a little hole back here so that my client can put a light back there, like so. Okay, just to get some nice scenery, nice lighting. This, you could actually take these off, but I'm gonna leave them on. But you can take them off, and it's not a problem. These are clip-ons, okay. But I put them in there pretty good, so I think it should be good. All right, but it's magnetized in the back. Okay. We got this wall. Depending on how you angle it, you may not need the magnets more than enough. But I made some clips to hold these walls just in case. I got the table. Okay. And then we got this wall unit with a whole bunch of plates from China, just to kind of have this here. Okay. And it actually has support. So I'm gonna bring my assistant, Ralph Macho, so you guys can see. Okay. It's not like he's gonna fall in there or anything. So he's anatomically correct to the size of the figure that Teray from Knights of the Creeps. Yeah. Got the clock. Got a little signage here just in case he wants to, you know, put it. put it like that, whatever, but I'll put it right here. And then you got the slugs. And that's it. Made him some extra debris so when he decides to put the character inside, or like this. So like the scene that I had earlier, I put this guy here. Got this mummy with the axe. And then start. And for the back piece, put the zombie back there. And then there's a magnet that clips them together. And there's that, and then boom, there you go. Alright guys, so that is it. This is my Knights of the Creeps diorama. Before we end, I want to say Merry Christmas guys, Happy New Year's. Let's go 2020 hard and let's be doing more cool stuff. And guys, thank you for watching. Write a comment, hit that like button, and if you haven't yet, hit subscribe guys. Alright, peace.